right, here we go. It's time for another show. I've got Kenzie on the line. There it is, a discussion. That's what we're doing here. 567-777-2779. We'll do a little D23 recap. We're going to talk about everything that is anything that was covered at D23, or at least some of it. And then we're going to talk about Joffrey's and Starbucks, the ultimate debate. Which one is better? Is there a difference? I think there is. I'm inclined to believe Kenzie believes the same. We'll find that out, but we want to hear from you. That's what it's all about. 567-777-2779. Kenzie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Royce?
I'm doing good. Did you like that it took me 3 times to start the show?
You know what? It's a work in progress, and I'm just happy to be here.
There are a lot of buttons to press, and I'm happy you're here because you're a bit of an expert these days.
I like to keep up, with all the current events. There's a lot going on, especially last week.
The amount of text messages I got about what you said with Animal Kingdom, and I was just blown away.
I know. I saw it. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of news that came out of the D23 conference, but that was the biggest one that surprised me. Just because of our radio show last time, and you and I even talked. We were like, "Are they listening?" Because I had never heard a lot of, or if any, ideas around Encanto. So I was really shocked to see that news, but also really excited.
Well, it turns out they are listening. I got that confirmed this week, but that's a story for another time. And I was so happy to hear it because I think you hit the nail on the head. It's not something I had ever heard before. You know how I feel about birds. But adding something with Encanto over there, maybe moving the bird. I don't know. You don't have to move everything. But it kind of makes sense. So, credit to you.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it was one of those things where, D23 last year, they talked about Indiana Jones, they talked about Zootopia. And when we had our radio show, and this was a topic submitted by somebody, I had to think about it and, thinking through all the different concepts, there's so many different movies and themes that it could have been, but Encanto just seems like the best fit, and I don't see it incorporated into any other parts of the parks, and people love that movie. So it just kind of seems like an opportunity, and I'm glad they went with it. I think it's going to be really great. I know people have some strong opinions about Dinosaur going away. Personally, I'm excited. I'm not a huge fan of that ride, but overall, I think it's going to be really great.
Let me back up for a moment, too. I agree. Kenzie put this fantastic agenda together, and I'm not even honoring it. So you can submit topics at any time. There's a link tree right now. There's a website coming very, very, very soon. And I know I've been saying that for a while, but I mean very soon. But if you want to submit topics for this show as we continue to do them, click the link. It'll open up a form, and anything that you think is worth discussing as it pertains to Disney parks, and we'll take it into consideration. And of course, we want to hear from you. So you can always call. We're live right now on YouTube and TikTok. 567-777-2779. What do you think about the Hatbox Ghost coming right after Halloween, Kenzie?
Well, first, let me say, I think we got a comment that I don't think my audio is coming through on TikTok. If I can address that really quickly.
No, your audio will not be coming through on TikTok. You're going to have to, as it stands right now, go through. I'm not using a stream key, obviously, over there, so you have to go over to YouTube.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Well, yeah, back to the the Hatbox Ghost. I was super excited to see this news. I think that it was kind of teased a while back, and people seem to love this character over in Disneyland. So, I was just excited because I wanted what all the hype was about with it coming to Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World. But I did recently see the Haunted Mansion movie. I have a new appreciation. I mean, the whole movie is based around this character, and it's he's a really fascinating person. And I will want to encourage everybody to go see this movie. Um, but also, it's just exciting because I think the Haunted Mansion has, been one of those original rides that's been around forever. So just to see like this really small change come to the ride will have a lot of people coming, because I think a lot of people also have seen the Haunted Mansion movie, and we haven't really heard about the Hatbox Ghost, especially in the original Haunted Mansion movie. So I think it's exciting, especially around Halloween.
Yeah, no, I'm glad it's happening. Now, do you think, kind of going off on a tangent here, but do you think that at some point then they would actually consider bringing Nightmare Before Christmas to Disney World for the retheme, or for a seasonal retheme?
Um, so are you thinking like with Haunted Mansion or like with
Yeah, well, that's what they
like
do
a
in Disneyland, right?
parade?
Nightmare Before Christmas. So I've explained before on the live why I think that you don't see a lot of that stuff, but do you think that's possible?
I don't know. I mean, I know that they incorporate Nightmare Before Christmas into, one of the Halloween fireworks shows, and I haven't seen it. But I don't know. I don't know if that would draw enough attention. I think it would probably upset some people if there was like an overlay with Haunted Mansion, but I don't know. And I also have not seen the movie, so I'm not the biggest Tim Burton fan, but yeah, I don't see that coming because you incorporate it into the fireworks show already.
So you're of the mindset that that's sort of exclusive to Disneyland.
I would think so. I don't think that there's enough people asking for it, and based on them listening to our comments about Indiana Jones and Encanto, I think they're listening to what people want to say and what they want. And I don't think that I've heard anything about Nightmare Before Christmas, but I could be wrong. I could be on, the other side of all the comments and thoughts from people that want to incorporate certain things into the park.
It gets asked in the comments on the live from time to time. I'm of the mindset that I've expressed before that people, again, like you said, would be upset more times than not, just because of the nature of Disney World being such a hub for international visitors. So I think a lot of people expect to see what they expect to see. If you disrupt that, you run into issues.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to bring in another, this was kind of mentioned at D23, but and we can come back to the Hot Box Ghost. But I did see that they're going to have an overlay with Soarin' at Walt Disney World featuring Soarin' over California that is typically shown in Disneyland. And I'm going next week. I have a friend that's very upset about this, only because of the fact that we don't get to go to Disney World a lot, and she was excited for the original Soarin'. So I think that just goes to show that if you change something small as like a limited time, you might upset some people. People are there to experience Walt Disney World the way that they have always experienced it. Obviously, it's great to bring in changes once in a while, but I don't know. I think it just riles up some people.
Okay, so this is the perfect segue to the Country Bears, because I have been waiting, not because I want this, but I've been waiting for them to say they're going to do something to this show. And they've now announced at D23 that they're going to redo the show. If they can preserve the old show, so every once in a while they bring it back, kind of like they're doing with Soarin' right now, then I'm fine. I just want from time to time for them to be able to play that old show. So
Now,
there's a
do you think
balancing act there.
Yeah. Well, and I'll challenge you on this a little bit. Do you think it's fine with you because you have the privilege of going to Walt Disney World any day that you want because you live down there? I can see some people who don't get that opportunity to go, and when there's limited time. I mean, maybe I can see it as, you know, bringing people in for those limited shows or any, you know, changes, but I don't know. I think about the people who have expectations going into the parks that plan their trips for either once in a lifetime or once a year, versus the people that get to go more often.
Well, it's like, again, it's like the birthday cake castle.
Oh my gosh, the birthday cake castle. I wish I saw that. I mean, that was, and I know some people even got upset with changing the Walt Disney World castle for the 50th anniversary, but it's like, you know, I think they did a great job.
No, that was subtle. That was subtle. But so here's my thing to kind of answer your question, even though you really didn't. Well, I did. You did. You did say, like, so here's what I would say. Here's how I would answer what you're saying. Don't change Country Bears at all. Point blank, period. Very simple. Don't change it at all. But if you're saying you're going to change it, then yes, I'm being completely selfish as somebody that goes all the time, that wants to see something that I love that I'm no longer going to be able to see. So I don't know if it has to do with the frequency that I go so much as it has to do with my affinity for the show. I have a lot of childhood memories of going to that show. Anything that is, you know, opening day, close to Walt Disney, I have a real appreciation for. I would prefer they don't touch it at all. You know, I understand why they think they need to touch it, but they should not touch it.
Yeah, as somebody that didn't Country Bears, I mean, I don't have an opinion one way or another because I never, you know, went as a kid. It was one of those rides that we always, or shows that we always just decided to skip. So I get like having, you know, the appreciation for it for nostalgia purposes and everything like that. I just think of it as a show that not many guests go to. So I feel like there's more empty seats than not. But I don't know. I'm okay with it, but I'm also indifferent. Like I said, I would be okay if they kept it. I'd be okay if they changed it. if they changed it and there's really great, you know, reviews and feedback on how great this new show is, yeah, maybe I'd go see it. So I don't know. They bringing in more people. Is it about just having a different show? I don't know. I think there's a lot that they have to work with. But as far as I see it, there's more empty seats.
I don't see the empty seats that much. I really don't. I mean, yes, it's one of those shows where, you know, it can be packed and rowdy, or you can just get the people that are trying to get some AC. So changing it helps. And when they make these changes, they are usually trying to solve a problem. So bringing more people into the show would be obviously the problem to solve. So I get it. I just, you know, and I'm the first one to say that the parks are meant to evolve, and I can appreciate that. And that was Walt's vision. That one I'll miss, you know. I like the subversive Disney humor. I think anything that appeals to parents as much as children is a win. But let's go to the phones. Let's go to 478. 478, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, boys, it's Zach.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. So, Luminous.
Take your time.
Do what?
What's your question?
I said, how do you feel about Luminous replacing Harmonious?
That's correct. I listen.
Again, I'm sorry.
It's replacing Epcot forever. So Harmonious is long gone, and those wounds are healing, albeit slow. But I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what it's going to be. You can obviously see what they've taken out from Harmonious, so there's an indication of what it won't be. We'll see. I would be very happy if there were drones involved. I don't expect it.
Yeah. My fear is I think Harmonious, it would be Harmonious 2.0.
Well, that would be very nice. Harmonious 2.0 would be very nice. You know, Yoey calls it Luminous, so maybe he's onto something. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be nice to have a new show. I hope that it has the same emotion as Harmonious. That's what I would hope.
Oh gosh, yeah. I was listening to Harmonious soundtrack and just re-listening to it, and I really hope Luminous was just like that.
Now, Alex, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever been, we're talking Magic Kingdom now, I'm going to change topics. Have you ever been to Tortuga Tavern?
So whenever I'm there, that tavern has not been open.
Right across from Pirates.
So no.
Right across from Pirates.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I don't even know how many people even realize it's there, Kenzie, because and it's one of the things that was announced at D23. They're going to make it, and I'm looking at your notes, they're going to make it a tavern, and they're going to have alcohol now in the parks.
So I don't know that for sure. That was more of a question than what was announced. I think that would be awesome if they did that. I think the amount of options for alcohol in the parks is very limited in regards to Magic Kingdom. I think there's a lot of areas around Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom for drinks, but I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think only sit-down places that Kingdom serve alcohol. So if this is kind of the big reveal towards adult beverages in the parks via quick service, I'm all for it. There's a chance for having some rum cocktails if you're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean, some beer, other types of cocktails. I'm all for it. I think when this was announced, I was like, what is Tortuga Tavern? Because I didn't even know that place existed, because when I look at the pictures, it kind of looks like Pecos Bill almost.
Right.
And just in general, Magic Kingdom needs better food options. So any type of revamped quick service area, I'm all for it. But this one has a great theme. It has awesome placement right across from Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I think there's a lot of opportunity to work with here.
Well, I agree they need better food options. And Alex, I'll get your input here in a moment. Kenzie, I have to push back. I do not want quick service alcohol in the Magic Kingdom. We don't know for sure if that's happening. It's nice to see that they're doing something with this area, because for the longest time I didn't even use it. Now I'll go by there and grab a bite to eat, but I never even thought of it as a place to go. Or sometimes if I want to get out of the shade, that's a really good spot just because there's nobody over there. You can find a table in the shade and relax. It is connected to Pecos Bill. It actually cuts through, but it's on the backside. So a lot of people don't notice it. I just don't think we should have alcohol in the Magic Kingdom, at least not a quick service. I don't think we need that. What do you think, Alex?
So what I think was, I don't think Magic Kingdom originally was not supposed to have alcohol. That's what I think. And I think the only appropriate alcohol place was Epcot. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. So we're more closely aligned there. I don't know. I guess we don't know definitively if that's going to happen. I would like to see other things happening to Adventureland, to Frontierland, other than food, as much as we do need new food options. Let's see what they do with it. It's not a large area.
And to be honest with you, more alcohol involved, more people will get drunk, and more people will be kicked out of the park, more fights will happen, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, and listen, the Magic Kingdom is a very stressful park. It's stressful for the cast members. It's stressful for the guests. I don't really know if we need quick service alcohol with all that stress. At least the people that are going to Epcot, Alex, are generally if you're hitting the World Showcase, you know what you're there for. Magic Kingdom, people are dragging their kids around, yelling at them because they're not going to the bathroom on schedule. It's ridiculous. So, we'll see. Alex, I'm going to let you go.
Would we be...
What?
I was going to let you go. I appreciate you calling. We're going to keep moving here. But if anyone wants to call in, 567-777-2777 567-777-2779. I'm so happy that he called in, and I do agree about the alcohol.
I have to think, and I don't have kids, so I don't know firsthand, but I have a lot of friends that do. And you had mentioned that Magic Kingdom is already a stressful park. Isn't that the point of alcohol sometimes? Just to let loose a little bit. And I have to wonder if, it would just, obviously there's a lot of people that abuse it. You see all the videos of people being reckless in Epcot, but I don't know. I just think it might make it a little bit more of a fun experience for some parents just to have a cocktail and enjoy the parks with their kids.
Well, if your take is correct, which historically it is, that there's going to be a very long line across from Pirates, and maybe they're going to need to counter that somewhere else in the park.
Yeah, I agree. I think if they do implement it at this Pirates Tavern, they would have to offer it, somewhere in Frontierland. I'm sorry, not Frontierland. Potentially somewhere in Frontierland, but some place in Tomorrowland. I was thinking just to have that offset, but yeah, I don't know. I guess, what are your thoughts around the other parks, including it and not Magic Kingdom? Is it just because Magic Kingdom is a little bit more of a children's park, and the other parks are a little bit more tailored to both sides?
Well, and we'll go to the phones here in a moment, so stand by 504. I'm with Alex, though. I think the original intent was not to have alcohol, for probably for the reasons of the kids and preserving a little bit of that innocence, I guess. I don't know. But at a certain point, maybe you're right. 3 out of the 4 parks have it. What's one more? It's been, I could see that. Now, also, again, if you don't have alcohol in the Magic Kingdom, and to your point, you're like, oh, I could really use a drink, maybe we're hopping to Epcot, and that's moving people around. I don't know. Disney has the data. They always do. And they're always making these decisions based off of what they think is, again, going to be a good solution for their problems.
Oops.
504, you're on the air.
Hello.
Who's this?
It's Alice.
Who?
It's Alice.
Ellis. The Ellis from TikTok?
Yeah.
Hi, Ellis.
Hi.
Wait, Kenzie, I'm not sure it's him. The Ellis from TikTok?
Why not?
Why not? What's up?
Not much. I'm kind of feel like that they shouldn't have touched the country bear, though. I feel like they should have left it alone.
You think they should have left Country Bears alone?
Well, but kind of like not updated. I don't know.
Well, I understand that. I get it. It's happening though, so we'll see what they do. Like I said, I think it would be cool if they allowed us to go back and every once in a while do a throwback thing, kind of what they're doing with Soarin'. Now, I'm seeing some comments on YouTube, Kenzie, that people are getting sound but not hearing you. I know you said on TikTok that's the case. That is the case. But on YouTube, everybody should be hearing everybody.
Yeah, I think so, but I guess we would like to have people confirm on YouTube if they can hear both myself and other callers as well.
Yeah, I mean, everything looks good on my end. So, yes, we do, Jim said. Thank you. Thank you, Kayla. Okay. Brooke and Keen, appreciate y'all. Thank you. Nice of me to ask 25 minutes in, right?
I love to see all these comments on. Yeah,
Oh,
I love to
thank you.
see all these comments on YouTube. I would love to see people in as well.
Yeah, let's get some opinions in here. Call in, please. Call in. 567-777-2779. If anything, call in to talk to Ellis. Ellis,
Yes.
your biggest takeaway from D23, what was it?
Biggest takeaway would be them. I don't know. The country bears would be my biggest takeaway, I think.
Yeah, that was the thing that hit you the most?
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, you love Epcot forever, so how do you feel about Luminous?
I'm gonna give Luminous a shot.
Oh, you will?
I think it would kind of feel. I think it kind of be like harmonious.
You think so?
Mhm.
Well, they're, I mean, are they going to do projections or something else? Because they got rid of those screens. So I'm hoping there's some visuals. And if it's a straight fireworks show, so be it. Like I said, I think drones would be cool, but I don't think we're going to get them.
Do
And why
they
don't you
allow?
get drones?
What's that?
They don't allow drones in the parks, though, right?
One more time?
I said I thought they don't allow drones in the parks.
Well, everything changes in life, and things can be changed.
Mhm.
So I know there are rules about drones, but, listen, it's Disney. It's a big company. Ellis, are you excited for Moana?
Yes.
Are you more excited for Moana or Tiana's?
That's a tough question. Maybe.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. Maybe Tiana's, maybe?
You took a lot of time. I
Since
see
it was
that.
kind of filmed. Since it was kind of filmed in New Orleans.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Well, at least you're admitting your bias. That's fair. But Moana looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What are you most excited for about Moana?
Interacting with the water.
Really? I think a lot of people are just excited to see those walls come down.
Yeah.
Those walls
They've
have been
been
up for
up
how
there way
long,
too
Ellis?
long.
How long? Way too long, right?
Maybe about a year.
Easily. And then I think next the stuff next to it, Ellis, it's called Communicore Hall. You heard about that?
No.
Next to where Moana is, they're building an outdoor amphitheater, or I shouldn't say amphitheater, but an outdoor theater venue. And I don't know what else is going on over there. There's some landscaping. There might be some quiet areas, but that's all supposed to open by December, I read.
But what are you going to do with the American Garden Theater?
Well, that's a great question. Maybe they keep both. Why not have another venue?
Yeah. Use American Garden for concerts, maybe?
Hear me out. Hooligans residency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing but hooligans every night at the American Garden Theater in Epcot. Kind of like they do in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
No?
I want to go that far, but that would be cool, though. If it was hooligans.
Yeah, no, he's like Simon Cowell over here. No? You just nixed that really quick. Now, Ellis, listen to this. Test Track is getting a refurb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thoughts?
I think I'm kind of looking forward to see what they do with Test Track.
I'm excited too. I thought I read this somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's going to have a World of Motion inspired redo. I'm really struggling with words today.
I'm trying to see what they do with the vehicles.
You think they'll change the vehicle? That's an interesting idea. Will they change the vehicles?
I don't think they will.
It's a shame, Ellis, because have you ever ridden cars in Disneyland?
No, I've never been to Disneyland.
You've never been to Disneyland? Oh,
no.
We're going to have to take you to Disneyland, Ellis. Me, you, and Yoey in Disneyland. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, okay. Don't sound so excited about that.
No, I've been always wanting to go to Disneyland. I've never been.
Cars is like Test Track. It's huge. So we're not going to get that. But I'm glad they recognize they need to do something with it. Growing up, I was used to the original Test Track with the crash test dummies and the hot and cold rooms.
Oh, yeah. I remember the original.
Right? And you'd always break down in the hot and cold rooms.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Ellis, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Do you have any other thoughts? I'm looking at my list here. Figment meet and greet. You want to chime in on Figment meet and greet? How do you think Figment looks?
I think he looks a little bit creepy or I don't know. I think he looks okay, but I don't know. He seems pretty scary looking, but I think he kind of looks like a dragon.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, The proportions are a
But
little
it seems
are a little
pretty
interesting.
terrifying.
They're a little interesting. But you'll do a Figment meet and greet, right? You're not against that?
No, I'm not. But I'll see him.
All right.
He kind of looks like Snoop Dogg a little bit.
I'm sorry, what?
He kind of looks a little bit like Snoop Dogg.
You just said Figment looks like Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
You were always good for gold, my friend. You just
Okay.
got to hang in there till the last second. It's always there. Figment looks like Snoop Dogg. I haven't heard that.
Alice, I've seen that TikTok. I know what you're talking about.
No.
Uh,
No, I'm blown away by this. I'm blown away by this. I thought he looked like Jeffrey the giraffe from Toys R Us.
I did too.
Oh, you think he looks
With a touch of Snoop Dogg.
with a touch of
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg? That's right. Ellis, I'm going to let you go on a high note. Say goodbye, everybody. Well done.
Oh, did you send out my Pongo?
I'm telling you, I knew that question was coming, Kenzie. I mean, I knew it was coming. Ellis,
Okay.
I have breaking news. Breaking news.
What?
The Pongo shirt is in the mail.
Okay.
In the mail.
Thank you.
How many
All right.
times are you going to ask me this week on the live when it's going to arrive?
Well, I already know it's in the mail, so I probably wouldn't ask.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, all right. You heard it here first. More breaking news. You heard it here first. Ellis, I love you. I appreciate you. Enjoy the shirt. Let me
Thank
know.
you.
Let me know when you get it. And we're gonna go to
Okay.
239, Kenzie. 239. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, now you already know who this is. It's Connor. What's going on?
Oh my gosh! All the characters are calling in. Connor, how you doing, buddy?
Connor!
Hey now. Hey, Kenzie. Hey, Royce. Hey, everybody that is, in the chat. So what's our debate topic? I joined in a little late on the YouTube. What's going on?
Well, we're discussing D23. We've kind of run down the list. Ellis was telling us he thinks that Figment looks like Snoop Dogg, which,
I heard. Yeah, I love that, Ellis. I'll tell you what. Yeah, no, I mean, I can see where he's getting that from, but no, I agree with you. He looks like more like the giraffe from Toys R Us. So, but running down the list of D23, huh? Oh man, where do I even start? I mean, I'm excited for the new test track update because I feel it breaks down too often.
it does, and let's hope that's addressed, right?
I'd hope so. And then the tavern, I'm excited to see what they do with that. And I was listening in on the whole quick service idea with alcohol. I agree with you, Russ. I think it'd be a very much more stressful situation for cast members down the road if we were to do that. And granted, I love pirates. I love all that. But, I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this tavern. So that'll be interesting.
So speaking of alcohol, you're over there at what is it called? Why do I always forget what it's called, Connor?
Baseline.
Baseline. And you stand out there in the corner. You stand out there in the corner, just like surveying the situation, like a grandpa. And I love it. And the other day, you saw me coming from a mile away, and I'm streaming, right? And you see me and I see you, but there's like a tree between us. So I keep going back and forth between the tree to kind of dodge you visually,
Yep.
And I almost ran into that lady.
Yep. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Now it's funny. It's bad now. I can pick you out in a crowd. I'm like, oh, there he is. I can almost pick you out, but oh man, no, it's always great seeing you though. Like, I mean, honestly, it brightens up my day a little bit.
Likewise, I was telling somebody the other night, there's an odd comfort to seeing a familiar face in that corner. And to me, that's Connor's corner now. So I like stopping by and seeing what you're up to. They shouldn't let you work sci-fi. You should only work Connor's corner. There's not a lot to do there. So you get a lot of time to just sit out and people watch and hang. I love it. I think it's great. I'm glad you're there. And you're so close to Galaxy's Edge.
It's like they're hanging in front of me and I can't have it. It's like, oh, come on. It's terrible.
Connor.
Yes, ma'am.
Connor, I'm going to be there on Friday at Hollywood Studios. Are you going to be working? Because if you are, I need to see you.
This Friday?
Yeah, this Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there.
Awesome. Okay, I love baseline, so you may see me probably not from a mile away like Royce, but maybe I'll just stop in.
Hey, there you go. I don't know where I'm gonna be at. I'll have to text Royce and he can let you know.
Perfect.
But no, I just wanted to actually say tonight I picked up a treat shift at Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary, so I'm very excited.
Good for you.
Yeah, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Good for you.
But no, I don't know what else to touch base on. I mean, there was a lot covered in D23. I missed most of it, but I know the major things. Like I agree with you, Royce. I think drones in the new Epcot show would be really cool. But again, depends on the licensing and all that if they get it through.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some hurdles there, but you never know what's going on behind the scenes. So
You really I don't even know.
Let's do this really quick because we do have another topic outside of D23, a Joffrey Starbucks thing. But I'm looking at the things we haven't talked about. Kenzie, the Tough to Be a Bug show is getting replaced. Zootopia?
Thank God.
Oh, hot take.
Yeah, no, I'm completely unbiased. No, I am so excited for this change. I will tell you, the first time I went to see Tough to Be a Bug, it wasn't too long ago because for a brief moment in time, hadn't been to Disney a really long time, especially Animal Kingdom, because I didn't grow up at that park. It opened a little bit. The first time I went to Tough to Be a Bug, my sister schooled me. She's like, Kenzie, it's this really cute show. All the bugs from Bug's Life, like, you're going to love it. And I'm in there, and she's just giggling to herself. I'm like, what did I just get myself into? And then I get poked in the back. There's spiders hanging from the ceiling. It's scary. And I can't imagine how kids feel.
Yeah. No, I kind of have to agree with Kenzie. I grew up loving Bug's Life movie. I love that movie. It is very nostalgic to me. But I am actually curious to see how they're going to revamp that whole show with Zootopia. I'm curious.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean,
I think it's a change that needed to happen.
But my first thought is just sort of like doing any work inside that tree has got to be less than pleasant. It is. There's not a lot of room.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know.
No.
And there's
no,
there's
rooms,
but there's rooms between the showroom, obviously, like there's backstage, but it's all within the confines of the tree, and it's small. So I just don't know. Like, I mean, how much can they do? I guess is where I'm going with this, because you can gut it, you can do a retheme, and you can do lots of stuff with the media on the screen. But for the most part, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to be the crew that's pulling the seats out of that theater if they're doing that.
Absolutely not. That sounds not pleasant at all. And I gotta say, I can't believe that I don't know if we touched base on this yet or not, but I can't believe that you and Kenzie got it right on the nose with what they're doing with Dinoland.
Listen, I had never heard that Encanto thing before. She said it to me, a week before the radio show, Kenzie?
Literally, yeah, something like that, yeah.
And I had never heard that before. And here, now we'll see. Again, it's all blue sky, right? So what they're really good at doing with the whole D23 blue sky of it all is testing the waters. But again, that just shows you that they are listening. I think both moves make perfect sense. They're talking about moving Moana's meet and greet over to Epcot. Okay, makes sense. So things are going to look very different in another 10 years in Disney World. Things are going to look very different.
That is for so true.
I don't know. I'm looking at this list really quick. I don't know how long or when they're executing on Test Track. I think that'll be really exciting. I think that will obviously, help thin out something like a standby line on Guardians. So we'll see how these pieces click together. There's still a single rider line at Ratatouille. So I'm curious to see how some of these things like Moana opening up have an impact on other aspects of the park. When do we get the single rider line for Remy? when do we get Standby for Guardians? Do you do that when Moana opens just because it's going to push people around the park? We'll see. There's always a strategy to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that would make the most sense. I mean, granted, I'm a sucker for Guardians. Me and you both are, Royce. I think we could both agree on that. But no, I think that when the bigger things come into play, then it opens up a whole door for a whole lot more to be done with, the virtual queue, the standby, the single rider, all that. So.
And when do you go to your Moana preview, speaking of which?
Actually, I was supposed to go today, but we decided to cancel. So, okay.
All right. Well, you'll have to let me know. You'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
I think we just lost Kenzie.
Uh-oh.
I'll let her call back.
I'm back now.
So I'm looking again. I'm just kind of she put this whole outline together. I think we've touched on it all, right? We touched on Pirates Tavern and Dino Land, the Hatbox Ghost, Country Bears. We've talked about
that.
What's that?
I'm curious to see. I love Country Bears, and I'm just I don't know how to feel about them. Are they adding something to it, or are they just redoing it all?
They're changing the music. My question is, are you redoing any of the Bears? Are we redoing their outfits? If you keep everything intact and just have them play new songs like it's just another record on the record player, I'm okay with it. But something tells me that's not what we're getting.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's going to break my heart a little bit. Because it's
just
when
age
anybody
myself,
watches
too.
this show, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, the delay.
I know. We're going to fix it.
Does anybody else, when anybody watches the show, do you ever think, and this was just like my first thought when I sat through this show for the first time a year ago, I think of the Possum Show in the Goofy movies because the animatronics need some TLC.
Yeah, I could see where you're getting that from.
They do need some TLC.
Maybe that's a little hard.
No, but they do need, you're right, they do need TLC. The question is, are they going to do it, right? Just because you're getting in there and redoing the show, are you really going to overhaul everything, or are you just skinning it?
Yeah.
That's where I come from. Like, I would, I look, again, I have a lot of childhood memories tied to that show. That my memories, that place was like twice the size in my head as a little kid. It was just crazy. And then you had the heads mounted on the wall talking, and it was magic. I just couldn't believe it the first time I saw it as a little kid. And I mean a little kid. And I have like these old Country Bear postcards somewhere, and I just remember going, with my parents, and my dad loved it because there's all this humor for adults too. So for me, I'll miss it. That it might actually sting more than Splash Mountain. Only because of the childhood memories with my family.
What?
Yeah, only because I love Splash Mountain, but I was not an adult, but I was already like, a kid. I was already like a teenager.
I'm going to fall out of my chair.
Excuse me? What'd you say?
I'm going to fall out of my chair with that comment.
Really? Well, I'm you know how I feel about Splash Mountain, but I was older. I just think that this goes so back to my childhood and those early days of Disney that even predates Splash Mountain, But don't get it wrong. You know how I feel about Splash Mountain, okay? I absolutely am devastated about that, but it is what it is. But just from an emotional side, Now Kenzie's got me backpedaling. From an emotional side, the Country Bears, there's just a lot of memories of being a little kid in Disney World and being blown away by that show.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
So,
Kenzie's left the chat.
I do.
She might have. Hold on, I got to switch screens here. No, she's still there. Okay. Kenzie, what does your sister think of the Country Bear thing?
So, her and I are on the same page about this. It's funny because when she got assigned to be a cast member for the Bears, she was like, why am I going to work over here? Because her and I both didn't grow up on it. It was something we had never seen before. But I think she might be a little upset about it. You know, she put a sad face and was like, "Oh, not my bears." but I don't know. I think she probably could agree that it's time for a change, but she's not connected to it like you are, Royce, with the nostalgia.
Yeah, listen, I'm connected to the whole park that way, so it is what it is. But that's cool, though. I mean, that's cool that at least like she went from, you know, not really having any sort of connection to it to working it, and now there's sort of a piece of that, you know?
Yeah.
I guess it would be weird not to, right? Because you spend so much time there. I mean, she probably has that whole show memorized.
Absolutely. She has her script memorized from the beginning with all the safety and precautions, but also the songs. And, you know, she has her favorite parts in the show. And it was funny. You know, I only went because she wanted to show me what she does for work. And I was like, you know what? Fine. I had never been to this show before. It was a slow day in Magic Kingdom. So, you know, I will say I've seen it, but I have not been back since.
Fair. Mark said, time for a refresh, not a complete makeover. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. Hopefully, like I said, I would like, much like they're going to do with Soarin', the ability to play the old show. Don't take it away completely, and I'm a happy camper. And I'm looking forward to Soarin'. That's right around the corner, literally. So that'll be cool. I don't know, Connor, if you've ever experienced Soarin' over California, but I think you'll really enjoy that.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna get over there on because I have off Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so I'm gonna be going to parks probably all 3 days if I don't need to go get food.
So okay. You mean if you don't have to go grocery shopping?
Yeah,
That okay. You should see me grocery shopping. It's a mess. I'm always eating in the parks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can only get certain things. Otherwise, it's wasteful.
That's true. I know that.
I'm sure you do.
So,
Listen, I'm glad you're enjoying the college program. Now, when people ask, I can point them to somebody that enjoys it because I know you are thoroughly enjoying yourself. It shows. I love seeing you over there. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I really do find that to be a strange comfort, seeing a familiar face in the park, considering, all things. So I want to thank you for that, Connor. I will see you soon. We're going to move on to the last topic here that was Connor, not Kenzie, because Kenzie called back in. Just making sure I don't drop you, Kenzie. Let's move on to a quick debate here before we run out of time. You're a big coffee drinker?
I am a huge coffee drinker. Every day I make my coffee at home, and I'm a little picky. I get my medium roast coffee beans from Costco. I have a coffee grinder. I don't typically get coffee when I'm out a lot. So when I do get coffee when I'm out, I want it to be good coffee. Starbucks does not always fit in that category for me.
Well, first of all, how do you make your coffee at home?
So, yeah, I get the coffee beans from Costco, use a coffee grinder, and then I just have a coffee machine. It's very basic, but it's what I like. I rarely get coffee when I'm out unless, so I'm kind of weird. I just drink black coffee at home. But if it's iced coffee, I have to have a little like splash of oat milk or some type of like flavored syrup in it. But yeah, most of the time I'm just drinking black hot coffee.
This is good. We're very similar. So this conversation, between Starbucks and Joffrey's should be interesting. First off, let me suggest the French press. It is not as fancy as people think it is. It is quite simple. Jim suggests a drip. Drip coffee is awesome too. Okay. I am a black coffee drinker, Kenzie. So if I'm making a hot cup of coffee, it is black. I often use just espresso. I don't even just mess with dark roast. I go straight to the espresso. I'm the same way with a cold brew. Now here's where I'll get into the Starbucks and the Joffrey's of it all. If I'm going to have a cup of cold brew coffee, I can do black cold brew, but there's something about it. I could do it from Starbucks. There's something about it from Joffrey's where it's too tart, so I'll go with that splash. You know? But if I actually just want like a hot cup of black coffee, I'll take a hot cup of that 50th blend they've been doing for the last couple years now from Joffrey's over a black cup of coffee from Starbucks any day of the week.
Yeah, and there's a Starbucks right down the road for me. I only get Starbucks if I am getting some type of latte, because I think that they do a great job with, being unique with their flavors. I think that, you have like the shaken espresso with the oat milk. Those drinks are fun. But if I'm doing just like a plain black cup of coffee from Starbucks, it is always burnt to me. At least it tastes that way. I just prefer a local spot over Starbucks black coffee. And I have my own opinions on Starbucks in the parks, but that's my opinion on Starbucks outside of the park.
Well, what's your opinion on in the parks? You think it's worse?
So, I mean, it's all the same coffee, right? But in the park, it's overpriced because it's the park, But the lines are always so long. Magic Kingdom is obviously going to be the worst. Hollywood Studios is always packed. The Epcot one, I couldn't even tell you where the Epcot one is now because it's moved like 3 times. But the Animal Kingdom one is usually packed as well. So Joffrey's is, one, just tastes better to me, but it's also just very easy access because there's multiple spots around the park. And yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you want. If you want like a fun latte and you want like the Starbucks cup with the little Mickeys around it, I get it. My sister's obsessed with that stuff. That's why we go to Starbucks when we're at the park. She loves having her Disney cup for her Instagram. But if I just want like a good cup of coffee, I am Team Joffrey's all the way.
And everyone in the chat on YouTube is talking about Marshalls and TJ Maxx to get your Joffrey's. I have to find one around here because I want to just pick up a few bags of Joffrey's because I'm starting to make my own cold brew. And, it takes about 24 hours. So I constantly keep making it, and I just fill tumblers up. So I take it for my drive-in every morning. But I'm with you. If I'm not getting a designer drink, as my buddy Richard would call it, if I'm not getting a designer drink, then I'm going to go to Joffrey's every time in the park. The issue I have with the Magic Kingdom is there's one Joffrey's and there's one Starbucks. And if you go get a cup of cold brew from any of the quick service stands, you can get a hot cup of black coffee all day. But the cold brew cups is just a little tiny cold brew with ice. It's not enough. I will say, fun fact, annual pass holders, you do get your discount on Joffrey's coffee. You do not get it on Starbucks coffee. You do get it on Starbucks merch at the park, but you do get your discount on Joffrey's coffee. And there's a 24-ounce cup for cold brew at Joffrey's. A lot of people don't know that. They only have the 16, but there's a 24-ounce cup at Joffrey's as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're already getting your bang for your buck with Joffrey's. And so if you're getting a discount on top of it as an annual pass holder, I don't know. I don't think you can go wrong there. But I get some people, my grandpa has to go to Starbucks every day. It's like his thing. Some people are very loyal to their Starbucks coffee. And if that's what you like, that's what you like. It's hard to argue that one. But yeah, overall, there's a lot of factors, and Joffrey's is always just at the top for me. Even when it comes to their other like food items aside from coffee, I mean, I feel like Starbucks, you can get those pastries anywhere. Occasionally they have some, limited Disney treats, but in general, I think that the pastries that you get at Starbucks they're probably frozen in the back, and they're never, like fresh. And I don't know. I just feel like I'm always like overwhelmed standing in there, and they're just in a rush to get people in and get people out.
Well, Starbucks, let's take it outside of the park for a moment. Starbucks has become the modern day McDonald's, and they were very conscious about making their new stores drive-through based with limited seating. The old Starbucks was all about come in there with your laptop and sit down and pretend to write your screenplay. And now it's very much Starbucks is like McDonald's. Most of the traffic is drive-through. The inside areas are smaller, and you're getting, like you said, you're getting fast food. At least when I go to Joffrey's, you know those are like boxes of fresh donuts they're putting out every morning. Fresh cookies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know anything about the history of Joffrey's, Kenzie?
I don't, but I would be really interested to find out. And like a lot of people have said, you know, you can find it at TJ Maxx and Marshalls. I get mine at Home Goods. Yeah, other than Disney World and occasionally finding a bag around, you know, the TJ Maxx Home Goods stores, I don't know anything about Joffrey's.
I'm going to have to look it up. Now, Tweety does mention a 24-ounce Trenta. There is a Trenta at Starbucks, yes, that you have to ask for. And they won't do a Trenta on everything. I think it's cold drinks only, I believe. I remember for the longest time not being able to get Joffrey's at Disneyland, and then they opened up a Joffrey's at DCA. So that was cool. And then I heard there's an actual Joffrey's store maybe in Tampa or something. I'm not certain. So I was just never clear, and it would have obviously been nice to think about this before doing the show, but I was never clear on Joffrey's and Disney's relationship. Are they their own company? Did Disney acquire them? Looks like the majority of their business is Disney related.
Yeah, I think it is too. And yeah, I should have done some more research before, but looking at some of the comments, I see a lot of people in favor of Joffrey's, which is shocking to me. I think, I thought I was having an unpopular opinion here, but it's nice to see that some people have the same thoughts. And yeah, I don't know.
I think you thought we were going to disagree, but it's not the case. I really enjoy Joffrey's, and again, aside from the taste, the huge benefit being how many there are in the parks. You know, that's a nice convenience. I can,
yeah, absolutely.
You know, I know where every Joffrey's is in Epcot by heart. You know, Animal Kingdom has what? One Joffrey's and a Starbucks, so it's like a MK. And then Studios has 1, 2 Joffrey's and a Starbucks. There's a Joffrey's by Tower. There's a Joffrey's by on your way to Toy Story. There's a Joffrey's down the ramp at the Skyliner station at Caribbean Beach. So if you're ever thinking of trying to get a Joffrey's coffee on the way and saving some time waiting in line in the parks, there's one there. There's a Joffrey's at the Ticket and Transportation Center. Where there is not a Joffrey's, Kenzie, and if they're listening, I will suggest this. Put a Joffrey's outside of Cast Connections. You would clean up. There is no coffee outside of Cast Connections, and it's always very, very busy. Put a Joffrey's kiosk outside of Cast Connections. Just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think we could all use Joffrey's in other places. I mean, if you're not going to put alcohol in Magic Kingdom, then put more coffee stands.
Well, what is it, Westward Ho? No, it's not Westward Ho. What is the little stand outside where you can do the pirate adventure thing? There's a little tiny stand that's sometimes open, sometimes not. It's kind of backed up to the train tracks. It's like, make that a Joffrey's. I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, I see one of the comments that says, I only wish that Joffrey's had refreshers like Starbucks. That would be really cool to see them expand their menu a little bit, to have, you know, I'm first to admit that I don't have their menu memorized. I don't know all the different types of beverages that they offer, but, you know, it'd be fun to have them have like some signature drinks kind of similar to refreshers, where you have like your coconut milk and your fruit in there, and maybe it's tea or something like that. But yeah, Joffrey's is just like a little touch of Disney to me. And I even see on their website that you can have a subscription to their coffee. That's so fun that they offer that. And I know that there's a lot of coffee subscriptions out there, but this is like a little magic from Disney in your home.
I do feel that way. I really do. Now, the other thing that would be really cool for Joffrey's to add, which wouldn't take much, is bagels. Having a little slicer, a little toaster, and having bagels, and just selling the little cream cheese, you know, selling them and having the little cream cheese packets. Golden Oak Outpost. Thank you, Monty. So I think that would be cool. Add some refreshers, add some toasted bagels. You don't have to get fancy with it. You don't have to make them. Just toast them and hand people, just like they do at the Dunkin' Donuts, hand them their toasted bagel and a little cream cheese packet. And why not? kick it up a notch. Because
Yeah,
I don't always want a pastry in the morning.
Right. Yeah. And honestly, if they announce us in the next week or at D23 next year, then we will for sure know that they were listening to us.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just start coming up with ridiculous things and see what they listen to.
Right.
But I do think I love that refresher idea because they have the frozen drinks there, right? So why not? You're already going to have some stuff because they occasionally do like a little mixed drink cocktail sort of concoction. So it wouldn't take much. And then again, adding the bagels just to have one other additional item. I would probably avoid the Starbucks at all costs unless there was no line.
Yeah. And I know that you're big on your Kona coffee as well. I can try to put an accent on that, but I would sound ridiculous. But is that a Disney company as well, or is Kona Coffee separate from that and they just serve it at the Ponies Inn?
Kona's a type of coffee. So, if you go to the island, if you go to Kona, go to Hawaii, you go to Kona, you'll get like the best Kona coffee ever right from the source, of course. What they have at the Kona Cafe and Kona Island, which is the quick service outside of Kona at the Poly, is they have 100% pure Kona coffee, which is very hard to find. Usually if you go to a store and you find Kona coffee, again, all sorts of different blends of Kona coffee from different coffee manufacturers. But usually it's a 10% blend in the store. If you go to Kona Island, they do a 30% blend. If you sit down and get the French press at Kona Cafe, it is a 100% blend. So Kona's a type of coffee, not a brand, but there are different types of Kona. But like I said, the best cup of Kona coffee I've ever had was actually at Kona. It was on the island of Kona. So I love Kona coffee. You can't
I
get
will
it
definitely try that.
Can't get 100% pure Kona coffee anywhere. Usually I have to order it off of Amazon or something. Pizza's good,
yeah,
Tweety.
and I've heard you say that before. The 100. What's that?
I just read Tweety's comment and responded out loud.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I've heard you say the 100% pure Kona coffee before. I guess I just never knew what that meant. But yeah, I mean, I'll be at the Poly on Friday for a brief moment. I might have to pick up a cup on my way into Magic Kingdom.
So what you would do is if you get the French press, and it's about 2 cups, you can get the 100%. But if you go and you just want a single cup, it's going to be a 30% blend. So that's the distinction if you want the 100%.
Oh, interesting.
So I put way too much energy into figuring out that whole thing because I love Kona coffee. So. Oh, and I'm fact checking myself. I know it's not the island of Kona. It says Kona is a town on the west coast of Hawaii Island, the big island. So, as I said that, I'm like, what? So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought it was a brand, so I think, yeah, just clarifying it's an actual place. And
Yes.
My sister actually just named her dog Kona, and I was like, after the place in Polynesian, no, the coffee.
By the way, since we're talking about coffee, I did put my cold brew maker on my Amazon storefront if people are interested. I will tell you, Kenzie, if you're ever thinking about doing it, this is the simplest way to do it. I think it was a $13 or $14 purchase. And you just let it steep for 24 hours. And obviously you can control that. I try to use espresso or dark roast. And it just is so good. It is so clean. It is not tart. And I prefer to drink cold brew black. Like I said, with Joffrey's, I will do a splash of oat milk. But this is just the best iced black. I mean, it's cold brew. It's not even iced. The best cold brew that I've had in a long time. And it's all homemade.
Yeah, I guess so. What I'm hearing, yeah, just to summarize with our debate topic, I feel like everything just comes out in front of Starbucks.
Wait, what? Say it again?
No, I was just saying, just to summarize, I feel like everything just comes out in front of Starbucks. You know, we talked about Joffrey's, we've talked about Kona. I saw some people talk about Dunkin'. I think Dunkin' coffee is way better than Starbucks. Yeah, I think, that's kind of it was hard to have a debate around that, but I know some people do have some strong thoughts about Joffrey's versus Starbucks.
Listen, some people, like you said, really love their Starbucks, and that's okay. But if I'm in the park, the only reason I'm leaning to going to the Starbucks in Epcot is because there aren't a lot of breakfast options in Epcot. And like I said, I don't always want a cinnamon twist or a cookie, so just having a breakfast sandwich is nice. But I would go to the Joffrey's every single time if there was something to better pair it with. That's my biggest gripe there. So. All right. Listen, we've done it, Kenzie. We've done it again.
There it is.
There it is. Look at you. You're such a professional. You really are. I want to
It's
thank.
the tagline, right?
It is. It's the name of the show. It's not just the tagline. It's the show. I want to thank you for all of your hard work and everything you've done. Let's do one quick call. I'm sorry, and then we're going to wrap this up. I don't want to leave anyone hanging. 801. You're on the air.
Hey, Royce. Love the show, by the way. First time I've listened. I am wondering why you think Disney is like announcing all of these, like, to me, rumor projects. Like, oh, we're thinking about this. We might be doing this, or what do you think about this? And you know what I mean? I'm like, in the past we've just gotten concrete details. Like, we're doing this, not all of this. What seems to me to be like rumors.
That's a great question. And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
James.
James, thank you for calling in. I think not only is that a great question, I think the answer is simple. They don't know what to do, and they are floating because there are things that need to be done. Dinoland has to be redone. Whether you're keeping it and redoing it or doing something completely different, there's a problem that has to be solved. And I think they're uncertain. I think leadership has generally lost its way. And in an effort to constantly inject IP, you've now put things all over the place. So there's not even any synchronicity in terms of, or any, to get completely corporate, any synergy. You know, you've got Little Mermaid over here, then it's over there, and Moana's here, and then over there. And so I think they've lost their way, and they're always listening to their biggest fans. So I think that's a great thing. But yeah, I noticed it too. This D23 and last, there was a lot of blue sky. And it's just a very nice way to float and feel what people are thinking before they make a decision. I just think, again, I think it's a little fear-based. I think we need new leadership. You know, in the past, you've had people that were very strong about their feelings and what to do. You know, one of the reasons I always thought Michael Eisner was such a powerful CEO is because he stuck by his convictions, for better or worse. I think there's a lot of waffling going on. We'll see. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Totally agree. Yeah. It seems to me like, yeah, they're just like, well, we're scared to announce something, so we'll float this out and see how the reaction is, and then we'll see if we can actually afford it, and then we'll do it if it checks all the boxes. I don't know.
We'll see what happens next year. I think there are some big problems to solve ahead of any of this, though. You know, I really do. You know, it's nice to say that we're gonna, you know, do a land expansion in the Magic Kingdom, but let's solve this Animal Kingdom issue. You know, and then let's get the rest of Epcot opened up. We'll see. Yes, sir.
They do have a lot of projects announced or previously talked about that have gone dormant that they could focus on too. Yeah.
Well, you read my mind. I was thinking, as soon as we got onto this, I started thinking about the Spaceship Earth renovation, because prior to COVID, they were going to update that. That went by the wayside. The Mary Poppins walkthrough went by the wayside. So yeah, they have a lot of things that they tend to put out there and then pull back on. And I think they know they can get away with that often. I'm not saying that those were situations where they did that purposely, but certainly with these announcements lately, these D23 Blue Sky announcements, they're feeling out the fans.
And that might be another thing they're trying to do is, here's something we can talk about, but we don't actually have to promise anything. So if we change our mind later, then no one can be mad.
Well, and also knowing that they have a show to fill, right? They have to fill a D23. We don't have a lot going on right now.
Right.
We've laid off a bunch of people. You know, our stock is in the toilet. We have to figure out the Hulu problem. We have to figure out the ESPN problem. So we have bigger internal issues to solve that we're not committing to anything in a major way right now. You know, the Disneyland Forward project was announced a couple years ago, and I think I just read an update yesterday about it, and it was a no nonsense. It was a no update, excuse me. So I think part of that comes down to we have to provide a D23. We can always say something's blue sky. We're putting on a show. We're letting people think, but we're not spending anything. And I think right now they got to be very careful how they spend. So you can't cancel D23. I mean, I guess you could, but that wouldn't look
That
good.
is true.
You know?
I've been once, and it was a lot of fun. So, yeah.
Good. Well, listen, I appreciate you calling. I think that was a great way to end this, Kenzie. Great question. And I think we lost Kenzie as well. So I'm going to wrap this up for you. Thank you all so much. What a great show. Just a lot of fun getting to hear from everybody. Thank you all for calling in and taking the time. We're going to do this again real soon. Coming up next will be the book club. That'll be next Sunday live on YouTube, and we'll do the TikTok simulcast as well. You can always get these shows wherever you listen to your podcasts, and of course the replay on YouTube will be up momentarily. I want to thank everybody again for calling in, and the chat as well. Lots of great input. The book club show next week, live, noon, YouTube and TikTok. We're going to discuss more about Michael Eisner. The book is called Keys to the Kingdom by Kim Masters. You can find that book on my Amazon store as well. We'll do some more reading and post it on TV Remix as well. I really want to say thank you to Kenzie for jumping in and taking the time to make this show what it is. Couldn't do it without you. And we'll see y'all real soon.